Tonight on our news weekend, the Atlantic hurricane season is heating up with Tropical Storm Debbie expected to intensify to a hurricane in a matter of hours. Meanwhile, a tropical wave develops in the Leeward Islands. Greg Thompson is standing by with what you need to know. Plus, the latest on the health condition of former Prime Minister Perry Christie. His family says he's recovering well at Doctor's Hospital. And an act of charity. Grand Bahama Rotaracts gave back to the community in a big way. Our news, the weekend edition, starts right now. Welcome to our news, the weekend edition. Thanks for joining us. I'm Berthany McDermott. In a matter of hours, Tropical Storm Debbie is expected to strengthen into a Category 1 hurricane. Currently located west of Florida, Debbie's rain bands are still impacting the northwest Bahamas. As the system continues to move away from the region, it is likely to bring more showers, thunderstorms, and trailing rain bands to the northwest islands through Wednesday. Meanwhile, meteorologists are now closely monitoring another tropical wave approaching the Leeward Islands. This latest activity signals the Atlantic hurricane season is intensifying. Meteorologist Greg Thompson joins us now with the latest updates and what you need to know. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Berthany. Happy Sunday evening, everybody. We are tracking now, which is basically almost on the cusp of becoming a hurricane, Debbie. Lots of showers and thunderstorms associated with the system spreading across Florida. We have some outer bands moving across the northwest Bahamas. So we're looking at some isolated showers and thunderstorms. These bands will continue to affect us as the system continues to pull towards the north and away from us. By 8 o'clock, we expect the system to become a hurricane. It will become Hurricane Debbie with packing winds of around 75 miles per hour, and will continue to have some gusts up to 92 miles per hour with the system. Taking a look at the track, it will continue that north to northeasterly track over the next 24 to 48 hours, moving into the Florida Big Bend by Monday evening, and then expected to cross over into the east coast of the southeast United States, and that will continue to be the track. Moisture associated with the system will continue to affect us. Those outer rain bands mostly are isolated to scattered showers and thunderstorms affecting us through the look like most of the week, because that system will continue to have a very long trailing moisture plume with it. Future forecast showing the moisture plume associated with affecting the northwest Bahamas as we speak. Showers and thunderstorms will continue through Monday, so Monday looks to like have a couple of showers, mainly for the northwest Bahamas on the holiday Monday, and then by Tuesday into Wednesday, trailing moisture hanging out across our area. So we're looking at some more showers in the forecast for the early part and middle part of next week. Boating forecast, small craft advisory posted for the northwest Bahamas. Winds will be southeast to south 15 to 20 knots. They will be gusting high at times. Seas running 3 to 5 feet, but up to 7 feet in offshore waters. High tide will be at 8:53 tonight, low tide at 3:30 in the morning for the central and southeast Bahamas. Caution flag in place for you guys down there. Southeast east to southeast wind, at 15 to 20 knots. Seas running 4 to 6 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, with the moisture plume hanging out along the southern portion of that system, Debbie, we will continue to keep showers in the forecast. Looks like most of the week, with some clearing by Friday. Temperatures will be back into the low to mid 90s by that time. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night and have a great holiday weekend, everybody.
Thanks, Greg. We have an update on former Prime Minister Perry Christie, who was hospitalized yesterday after feeling unwell. In a Facebook post, his family shared that he underwent a successful procedure. The Christie family expressed their deep gratitude to the medical team at Doctor's Hospital for their exceptional care. They also thanked the Bahamian people for their support, well wishes, and prayers. Meanwhile, the Office of the Prime Minister has released more information regarding the former Prime Minister's health and medical treatment. In a post on X, Communications Director Latrey Ramming reported that the former Prime Minister was admitted with symptoms of an acute heart condition, which required corrective surgery performed by interventional cardiologist Dr. Bimmel Francis and his team. Ramming said the former Prime Minister is currently awake, alert, and recovering remarkably well. And all of us here at Our News and RTV wishing the former Prime Minister a speedy recovery. Now to Eleuthera, where residents might face additional power outages for a bit longer. Bahamas Power and Light is reporting challenges with increasing capacity at the Rock Sound and Hatchet Bay power stations. Our news team has been tracking the story for weeks, speaking with residents and business owners who are still frustrated with the situation. Senior Corporate Communications Manager Arnett Ingram recently told us that despite the ongoing issues, addressing Eleuthera's power problems remain a top priority for BPL.
These units or parts that we're acquiring aren't readily available, and they require either some degree of construction or a lengthy lead time to get them on the island. So I know that this provides little solace to our customers, but I just want to assure them that our teams on the ground are working to keep the existing units that we have operable. And in the event of any failure, they work around the clock to restore those units to service, because we know they're necessary to prevent load shedding and outages for our customers.
She says other infrastructural upgrades may cause some interruptions.
Similarly, on the T&D side, there have been considerable efforts to harden the network, and that includes going line by line and replacing damaged equipment, and also putting in place some technology that we believe will minimize or prevent some of these outages from occurring. So we know our customers in Eleuthera are wary, but we really want to assure them that work is ongoing to improve the service, and we are hopeful that week by week, the measures that we're implementing will result in less frequent outages.
An American tourist who accumulated a bill of over $10,000 at Sandals Royal Bahamian Resort has been charged after attempting to evade payment. 23-year-old Eldaj Ba from Massachusetts faced charges of credit by fraud and possession of 2 fake credit cards when he appeared before Magistrate Carr Turnquest DeVoe. Ba checked into the resort on July 26th, and by the time he checked out on July 30th, he had amassed a bill of $10,793.96, but could not pay. He pleaded guilty and was fined $5,000. If he fails to pay the hotel, Ba faces a 1-year jail sentence. Police are on the lookout for a man who left the hospital while being treated for a gunshot wound to the leg. The shooting allegedly happened around 1 p.m. on Saturday at a home on Ragged Island Street. Police say the injured man was taken to the hospital in a private vehicle. While details are still unclear, officers from the Criminal Investigations Department say they are actively trying to figure out what happened. Bahamas Public Services Union President Kingsley Ferguson is backing criticisms of several union leaders, including Trade Union Congress President Obie Ferguson. Bahamas National Alliance Trade Union Congress President Belinda Wilson recently levied claims of political pawning by the TUC. Ferguson and the TUC have clashed with the current PLP government over a memorandum of understanding signed when they were in opposition. Ferguson claims those who signed the MOU are now facing the fallout from alleged personal deals made 3 years ago.
We see individuals who would have signed off are now crying sour grapes. Again, we're going to take our stand. Regardless of which administration it is, the issues are indeed the issues. And we're going to stand and we're going to demonstrate the resilience that's necessary to push back at any form of injustice towards the workers of this country.
The BPSU president says unions shouldn't need to align with the government for employees to get what they deserve.
We didn't sign off on an MOU. We didn't know about it. And I want to support the comments the president of the BNATUC would have made, Mrs. Wilson. We shouldn't have to indicate to you that we're going to support you politically, so that the issues that surround the employers and workers in this country are concerned. The Industrial Relations Act particularly lays out what the relationship between the workers' representative and the employer actually is.
When our news weekend comes back from the break, how did the Bahamas gain from regional talks at the 47th CARICOM Heads of Government meeting? Well, the country rep is on the record tonight with the benefits and water safety. We'll tell you what you should do to keep your child safe during the summer heat. The details when our news weekend returns.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Regional leaders have wrapped up a successful CARICOM Heads of Government meeting covering a range of issues. But just how do these discussions benefit the Bahamas? Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin, who represented the country at the meeting, told us the key takeaways was the region's unified voice. Leaders focused on important topics such as crime, violence, and gun trafficking, as well as digital literacy and digitization.
The effort is to ensure that young people become engaged in digitization, digital literacy, so that the region is able to stay in front of this phenomenon and not be lagging, which will affect our developmental strength. One of the other issues discussed was South cooperation, which is a fairly new dialogue. How we've envisioned ourselves now seeing countries in Africa.
Back in June, the Afrexim Bank, which has a headquarters in Barbados, held a meeting in the Bahamas. Regional leaders also discussed the UN Permanent Forum for People of African Descent, which includes a Bahamian member and focuses on issues affecting people of African descent.
But this forum is very interesting because it looks at the peculiar issues that impact persons of African descent, which is all of us in the region, and which includes reparations, it includes public health issues, and on and on. And it also has an advocacy role in the international arena and to leverage us more solidly as it relates to the issues that impact us. So all in all, it has been a very rigorous schedule, but I think a very good meeting.
Several female entrepreneurs in Grand Bahama are now better equipped to advance their businesses thanks to the Academy of Women Entrepreneurs program. The U.S. State Department initiative supports women globally. Participants completed a 16-week course with successful candidates receiving grants to develop their businesses. The graduation ceremony recently took place at the Pelican Bay Resort. U.S. Charge d'Affaires Kimberly Furnish says the Small Business Development Center collaborated with the embassy on the project. The public affairs officer is excited about the program's future.
It was really impactful to see female entrepreneurs coming together, supporting one another, fostering entrepreneurship, business development, growth. It was just a sight to see, and I was so proud and excited to be a part of it.
This was our 4th cohort. We are looking towards our next cohort, and since the U.S. Embassy is priding itself on creating more equity across the Family Islands and across the Bahamas, we want to make sure that the other islands have access to the resources that the U.S. Embassy is investing in women entrepreneurs.
Officials say the next phase of the program will head to Eleuthera. SBDC Executive Director Samantha Roll tells us the past 16 weeks also included a mentorship component.
So we had 5 facilitators who acted as their mentor to guide them through the 16 weeks. And throughout the 16 weeks, women were able to get those practical skills, business skills. And so talking about business finance, talking about pricing, structuring, those typical business topics. But what was so unique about this cohort is that we also added a session on mental health.
Water safety continues to be at the forefront of everyone's minds this summer as families head to beaches and pools to beat the summer heat. Members of the national swim team, Marvin Johnson Jr., is encouraging more parents to take an active role in ensuring their children are adequately trained to swim. He says he got his start and developed his love for the sport at the YMCA Family Center in Grand Bahama.
The YMCA has programs such as the Learn to Swim program that I went through, but also a program that is pretty new called Parent and Me, where that if you are not comfortable with leaving your kid, you can come in with your child and get that hands-on learning as well. So I do encourage parents, not just because of the recent events of a lot of drownings, which are extremely unfortunate, but also because of for your safety and your child's safety to get into the water and get comfortable in the water because we're an island nation.
The YMCA is responsible for teaching thousands of children over the many decades through their annual summer camp. The program is currently underway and caters to children ages 3 to 14.
We have one more week left, but I do encourage you to get your child in a summer camp next year that allows you to, drop them off, and they also learn real skills about the water and also other sports. So the YMCA summer camp has been something that I've been doing since a child, and it helps me in the water and also helps me with making new friends and enjoying other sports.
Still to come on Our News Weekend, a local artist is producing new music that pays tribute to home.
In a shocking turn of events, Stevie Gardner withdraws from the men's 400 meters at the Olympics in Paris. We talk about it next on Our Sports Weekend.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
This update from the Paris Olympics is powered by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
I'm Tej Adley. We are back with Our Sports Weekend. Stephen Gardner was scheduled to run in the prelims of the 400-meter race at the 2024 Olympics in Paris, but he was not in the starting blocks when the gun was fired. Here's what we know about what happened. The former Olympic gold medalist was scheduled to defend his title in Heat 4 of the event, pulling out before the start. The Abaco-born speedster has dealt with nagging injuries since last year, but there was very little indication ahead of time that this would happen. The Bahamas Olympic Committee posted a statement on their Facebook page stating only, quote, "With regret, we confirm that Stephen Gardner has withdrawn from the competition at Paris 2024, end quote. Ken Mullings also wrapped up his first Olympic decathlon with a score of 8,226 points, a new national record. That was yesterday. His finish was good for 13th place overall in the event. As the details on Gardner's withdrawal emerge, look for Our Sports to have them, as well as the latest news from Paris. Two-time NCAA javelin champ Remo Otterboro will compete on Tuesday, and Devin Charlton will run in the 110-meter hurdles on Wednesday. Now we're going to head over to the Diamond, where Jazz Chisholm got his first hit in the Bronx. Jazz went 1 for 3 with a single and a walk to help his New York Yankees pick up a big 8-3 win over the Toronto Blue Jays. Aaron Judge smashed his league-leading 41st home run to help get the win. Anthony Volpe and Trent Grisham also went yard. The Yanks wrapped up the last game of their series with the Jays early this afternoon. Be sure to check out our website and socials for news on that. That's a wrap for sports this evening. For Our Sports Weekend, I'm Tej Adley. Have a great holiday weekend.
Thanks, Tej. Still ahead on Our News Weekend, there's no place like home. Local artist Julian Believe is releasing new music paying tribute to the Bahamas. That's coming up when Our News returns.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Welcome back to Our News Weekend. The Rotaract Club of Grand Bahama visited some elderly Grand Bahamians this week, bringing 2 special gifts. They provided hot lunches for the elderly residents of the Grand Bahama Home for the Aged, along with some adult diapers. The home has operated for decades on Frobisher Drive, offering a children's center and a daycare for the surrounding community. Even though it helps to generate funds for the home, they are always in need of more help. While making the presentation, Rotaract President Devane Benaby appealing to other organizations to get involved.
The response is always awesome from them. The community can do more, so we just want to do our part. This is the first initiative right now, and I'm sure it'll be ongoing because we got a lot of good response from the community who assisted us in completing this.
Adrian Dorset accepted on behalf of the home, expressing her gratitude for the donation.
We greatly appreciate your donation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for thinking about us.
Always.
Popular Bahamian-born artist Julian Believe recently released a new single that gives supporters a different sound from the artist. Our Daniel Miller met up with Julian to tell us more.
Junkanoo pop artist Julian Believe has spent more than 15 years defining his sound and solidifying his spot in the local and international music industries. His catalog features songs with Beanie Man, Angelique, Sabrina, Bungie Garlin, and many more. Now, the artist has taken his craft to a new level, releasing a new single with the classic rake and scrape rhythms titled Home.
I think the freedom of being an artist is you have the ability to go ahead and do different genres of music. And I've explored and tapped into one element of who I am as a musician and artist. And now I think it's time to tap into what is who I am, what I've been born and bred with all my life, what's indigenous to us. And I'm really in love with the sound of Bahamian music, the sound of rake and scrape, the sound of Junkanoo. And I feel like it was important during this time to help be a part of the movement that's taking the Bahamian music and culture to the world.
Senior and emerging artists are credited on the song, like Shad Colley and Keenan Foya. Believe says he wanted to create a feel-good song that serves as a reminder that there is no place better than the Bahamas.
Home is about our culture. Home is about missing our country, loving our country, always wanting to come back to where it all started, you know? As I travel on my journey in music, Bahamas always had something special about it. It was the food, the music, the energy, the vibe. All of that makes up home, family. And the reason why I created this song with my team is because we wanted to have something that represented for the culture, represent for the people that I love. And you can imagine the persons that are traveling across the world, kids off to school, and persons at the consulates, wishing that they could be home and celebrate with us, wishing that they could come home and celebrate Junkanoo, time with family, eat a conch salad, the simple things in life. This is what the song and I Like Home represents.
For more stories like this, and the latest updates on news and entertainment, along with exclusive content, follow us on your favorite social media platform. Just look for Our News Bahamas. Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
Thanks, Danielle, and thank you for joining us for Our News Tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Berthany McDermott. Make it a great week, everyone.